The controversial social media influencer Andrew Tate has been arrested in Romania.
Why do you think that about it? Are the extradition wheels?
The Matrix has attacked me.
So a very short response from him, led away there with his brother.
Andrew and Tristan Tate are once again at the center of a major legal development, and this latest update carries more potential consequence than anything that has come before it. According to multiple public reports, the brothers were detained in Miami after UK authorities took another significant and formal step in a legal case that has been developing for years across multiple countries. But this time, the story is no longer primarily about Romania.
Inside, when they raided that property, police found guns, they found knives and wads.
I don't know what's happening, right? Like, what really happened, and why is Romania going after him? Are they being pressured by someone else to do this? Like, what is the reason why they're doing it, and what do they have on him? I don't know.
The suspects organized a criminal.
For months, many observers expected the Romanian proceedings to play out before any other country took action. That expectation has now changed in a significant way. The UK's Crown Prosecution Service has confirmed additional charges against both brothers and is formally seeking their extradition from the United States so they can face separate legal proceedings in England. If that extradition request is approved and proceeds through the relevant courts, it would mark the most significant turning point in this long-running and increasingly complex international case.
Male society, the war room.
As for the allegations against Tate,
BBC has uncovered evidence that dozens of women were potentially groomed into online sex work by the influence.
Everything that has happened in recent days is important, and it happened fast. News of the detention spread almost instantly. Footage from the scene began circulating online within minutes, showing law enforcement escorting the brothers into waiting vehicles as officials secured the area around the James L. Knight Center in downtown Miami, where Andrew and Tristan Tate had reportedly been expected to attend a bare-knuckle boxing event.
In Thailand, this property. So I needed money fast. And I said to Tristan, look, I owe us 70 grand. So I'm going to lock myself in my room and I'm not going to leave till I've made it.
Writing down all my assets. The only thing I had was, because I'd been fighting all around the world, I had these 6 girlfriends going around the internet, and I saw in the corner, talk to live girls now. My girls can do that.
And me and my brother, and eventually some staff I trained, would do all the talking. The girls were just pure, just famousers.
Instead of stepping into the public spotlight that evening, the situation took an entirely different direction. Authorities subsequently confirmed that the operation was carried out by the U.S. Marshals Service. What made this moment particularly striking was how unexpected it appeared to many people following the brothers' activities.
Hey, would you mind signing?
Hey.
Come over here by me. Let's go. Come over here by me.
Back up. Back up.
After returning to the United States in early 2025, Andrew and Tristan Tate had publicly maintained that they intended to challenge the allegations against them through the appropriate legal processes, insisting they had done nothing wrong.
You guys back up.
Their return to the U.S. had generated significant public attention, and many assumed the legal focus would continue to be on Romania. That assumption has now been overtaken by events. Within hours of the footage circulating online, the story had become international news, raising immediate and specific questions about what comes next, what the extradition process involves, and what the expanded UK charges actually say. To understand why this latest development is so significant, it helps to understand the shape of the legal situations the Tate brothers have been navigating across multiple countries.
Speak English?
no.
We were taking their money.
You like Mr. Tate?
Tate?
Andrew.
Yes.
All of it. If they come and say, well, what kind of, bro, all of it. We're milking them dry.
In Romania, Andrew and Tristan Tate have been facing legal proceedings connected to a separate set of allegations. Those proceedings have been ongoing for an extended period and continue to move through the Romanian court system. The brothers have denied the Romanian allegations, no final determination has been made, and those proceedings are expected to continue independent of the UK developments. But while the Romanian case has received the majority of public attention, a completely separate legal matter in the United Kingdom has been moving forward on a parallel track.
I understand that you get 3 strikes in this game. Strike 1 is they try and shut you up and discredit you, which I've just been through. Strike 2 is they try and put you in jail for no reason. And strike 3.
UK authorities, working alongside Bedfordshire police, have been investigating a different set of allegations covering conduct that prosecutors allege occurred between 2010 and 2017. These are distinct from the Romanian allegations and involve different complainants, different alleged conduct, and a different legal system. The UK's Crown Prosecution Service had already authorized an initial set of charges against the brothers in connection with UK-based allegations. What has now changed is that prosecutors have confirmed a significant expansion of those charges involving 4 additional complainants and a broader set of alleged offenses, and have formally initiated the extradition process to bring the brothers from the United States to face those proceedings in England. The official statement from the Crown Prosecution Service provides the clearest and most authoritative account of where the UK case currently stands. Malcolm McHaffey, head of the CPS Special Crime Division, confirmed that prosecutors authorized additional charges against both Andrew and Tristan Tate following receipt of a further file of evidence from Bedfordshire Police. That confirmation is significant because it establishes that the decision to expand the charges was made after a formal evidential review. The CPS's role is to assess whether there is sufficient evidence for a realistic prospect of conviction, not to make findings of guilt.
Tim.
That determination rests entirely with the courts. According to the CPS statement, the allegations against Andrew Tate now include SA offenses, arranging or facilitating exploitation, assault-related offenses, and allegations connected to prohibited images. The statement also outlines additional charges against Tristan Tate, including SA offenses and arranging or facilitating exploitation. These are, it must be stated clearly, allegations. They have not been proven in any court. Both Andrew and Tristan Tate deny all the allegations against them. The legal process exists precisely to evaluate evidence, hear from both sides, and reach findings through an established judicial process.
Tristan, anything to say?
The charges represent the beginning of a formal court process in the United Kingdom, not a determination of guilt. The CPS confirmed that the alleged conduct spans the period from 2010 to 2017. The additional charges announced in the latest update bring the total number of complainants in the UK case to 7, up from the 3 complainants connected to the charges that had been previously authorized. That expansion in scope is itself significant in terms of how the UK case has developed and what prosecutors believe the evidence supports. The specific connection between the Miami detention and the UK extradition process is an important detail to understand clearly.
Is this like real? Guys, wait. Wait. Okay. Wait.
You can just pull up a little bit. Okay.
Extradition is the formal legal process through which one country requests that another country transfer a person to face criminal proceedings. In order for the United States to extradite Andrew and Tristan Tate to the United Kingdom, a formal request must be made through the appropriate legal channels. Courts in both countries must evaluate that request under the applicable treaties and laws, and a series of legal stages must be completed before any transfer can actually occur. The UK and the United States have a formal extradition treaty that governs how these requests are processed. Under that framework, a UK extradition request requires review by a US federal court, which evaluates factors including whether the alleged conduct would be criminal under US law, whether the request meets the procedural requirements of the treaty, and whether there are any legal grounds on which extradition should be refused. The brothers and their legal teams have the right to contest the extradition request at each stage of that process. This means the detention in Miami is not the end of the legal process. It is the beginning of a new stage. The extradition process itself can involve multiple hearings, appeals, and rulings before any final outcome is reached. The timeline for extradition proceedings varies significantly depending on the complexity of the legal arguments and whether challenges are filed at each stage. What the CPS statement makes clear is that UK prosecutors are actively pursuing this process. They are not waiting for the Romanian proceedings to conclude before advancing the UK case. That represents a significant shift from the earlier understanding that the UK extradition would take place only after Romania had completed its proceedings, a sequencing that a Romanian court had reportedly approved in principle.
We won't fight at your office right now. One of these guys.
Okay.
And it? No, you're just winning this guy.
The current situation suggests that either the conditions for that earlier arrangement have changed, or UK authorities have determined that the circumstances now allow for parallel movement. The timing of these developments matters for understanding their significance. The allegations the CPS has authorized connect to a period stretching from 2010 to 2017, a span of years that covers a specific period in the brothers' careers and activities. Andrew Tate spent a significant part of that period in the United Kingdom before relocating, and publicly available information from that time has been part of the broader background discussion surrounding the UK case. The nature of the allegations, specifically the references to arranging or facilitating exploitation and to prohibited images, reflects the categories of conduct that UK investigators have been examining in connection with the complainants involved. The CPS has emphasized something important in its public communications about this case. Authorizing charges is not the same as proving them. The CPS's function is to evaluate the evidence gathered by police and determine whether there is a sufficient basis for the case to proceed to court. The courts, not prosecutors, make the ultimate findings about what happened and who is responsible. That distinction matters for how any coverage of these allegations should be understood, including this breakdown. Andrew and Tristan Tate are entitled to a fair trial, entitled to contest the evidence against them, and entitled to the presumption that they are innocent unless and until a court determines otherwise through the formal judicial process. Their legal teams have previously stated that they need full access to the evidence before they can adequately prepare a defense. As the case moves into formal court proceedings, that preparation will be an essential part of what comes next. The CPS also issued specific guidance about how active legal proceedings in the United Kingdom should be covered publicly. UK courts operate under rules that place a strong emphasis on protecting the fairness of legal proceedings from being influenced by outside commentary. While the specific contours of those rules are a matter for legal experts in the courts to evaluate, the underlying principle is that the outcome of a criminal case should be determined by the evidence presented in court, not by public opinion, online discussion, or media coverage. That principle is worth acknowledging directly. The volume of online commentary about Andrew Tate specifically, from supporters, from critics, and from a vast range of people who have formed strong views about him based on his public statements and persona, is among the most extensive connected to any figure who has been the subject of criminal proceedings in recent years.
Why do we have it? We're gonna find out what's going on. Yeah, they don't know. I don't know. They make it up and then they come get it. Find a man, find a crime. Hey, you dropped off.
His online platform is enormous. The discussions about him span every major social media platform. The volume of opinion about who he is and what he may or may not have done is vast. None of that changes what the courts will ultimately determine based on evidence. And that is, as the CPS reminded the public, where the outcome of this case will be decided. Perhaps the most important wider context for understanding these developments is how different the current situation looks from where things stood even 6 months ago. The expectation at the start of 2025 was that the Romanian proceedings would run their course, that any UK extradition would follow after Romania had completed its legal process, and that the brothers would have time and opportunity to navigate each stage sequentially. That picture has now changed substantially. UK authorities are pursuing extradition from the United States. The charges have been expanded, a new set of complainants has been formally added to the UK case, and the brothers find themselves navigating overlapping legal proceedings across multiple jurisdictions simultaneously. Their legal teams face an unusually complex challenge as a result, needing to address proceedings in Romania, proceedings in the United Kingdom, and now the extradition process in the United States, all at the same time. The logistics and resources involved in that kind of multi-jurisdictional defense are significant. In the coming months of court proceedings across all three countries will likely generate new developments with considerable frequency. For people following this story, several major questions remain unanswered as of this update. Will the U.S. courts approve the extradition request, and over what timeline will that decision be made? How will the Romanian proceedings affect or be affected by the UK extradition process moving in parallel? When could formal UK court proceedings begin if extradition is approved? And what additional evidence or developments may emerge as the investigation continues? Those answers will come through official court proceedings and verified statements, not through speculation or online commentary, however widely that commentary circulates. Every major development in this case has come through formal channels, and the next significant milestones will be no different. What is already clear from everything that has been publicly confirmed is that this case has entered a genuinely new phase. What began as a legal matter centered primarily in Romania has evolved into one of the most complex international criminal proceedings connected to a public figure in recent memory. 3 countries are now actively involved in overlapping proceedings. The number of complainants in the UK case alone has expanded significantly. Formal extradition machinery has been engaged, and every future court decision has the potential to reshape the timeline and direction of events. The allegations against Andrew and Tristan Tate remain unproven. They continue to deny wrongdoing. The courts will determine the facts, but the legal reality of their situation has shifted substantially with these latest developments, and the story that began in Romania has grown into something considerably larger. We will continue following every verified official development across all of the active legal proceedings as they move forward. The next court decisions in the United States on the extradition request and in Romania on the ongoing proceedings there are the most immediate milestones to watch. There is also an important dimension to understanding what the expanded UK charges actually mean in legal terms that goes beyond the headline numbers. When the CPS says it has authorized charges after receiving a further file of evidence from Bedfordshire Police, that language is specific and meaningful. In the UK system, police gather evidence and submit case files to the CPS for charging decisions. The CPS then applies the full code test, asking whether there is a realistic prospect of conviction based on the available evidence, and whether prosecution is in the public interest. The fact that the CPS authorized additional charges after receiving a supplementary file means that the evidential picture has continued to develop and that the additional allegations cleared the same threshold as the original charges. The categories of offenses named in the CPS statement also carry specific legal meaning within UK law. SA offenses cover a broad range of potential charges under the SA Offences Act 2003. Arranging or facilitating exploitation refers to conduct under the Modern Slavery Act 2015 and related legislation, which criminalizes the organization or facilitation of exploitation of another person. Assault-related offenses refers to conduct involving physical harm. And offenses relating to prohibited images refers to specific categories of digital content criminalized under UK law. None of that description constitutes a finding that any of those specific offenses occurred. These are the categories of charges that prosecutors believe the available evidence supports sufficiently to take to trial. Whether the evidence ultimately establishes guilt at trial is a completely separate question, one that can only be answered by a jury or court evaluating the full evidence under the applicable legal standards. The public interest dimensions of this case are also significant and deserve direct acknowledgement. Andrew Tate, in particular, has built one of the most extensive online followings of any figure who has become subject to serious criminal allegations. His influence on online discourse, particularly among young men, has been both extensively documented and extensively debated. People hold extraordinarily strong views about him, ranging from deep admiration to strong condemnation, and those strong views are themselves part of the context in which these legal proceedings are unfolding. The CPS's reminder that public commentary about active proceedings should be approached carefully is especially relevant in a case involving someone with this level of online presence. Online communities organized around support for or opposition to Andrew Tate specifically have the capacity to generate enormous volumes of commentary that exist independently of the formal legal record. That commentary does not determine what courts decide. What courts decide is determined by evidence, legal standards, and the formal judicial process. For anyone following this case, the most important ongoing question is not what social media thinks about Andrew Tate or Tristan Tate. It is what the courts will ultimately determine based on the evidence as it is formally presented and tested. That determination is coming, and when it does, it will carry the only kind of authority that actually matters in determining what the evidence in these cases establishes. Until then, the allegations remain unproven. The brothers deny wrongdoing. The legal process across multiple countries is actively underway, and every verified official development will be covered here as it emerges. Stay subscribed and turn on notifications so you do not miss any confirmed updates as this international case continues to develop. Spill hop. We do not just report the story, we slow it all the way down, go deeper than the headlines, and make sure you actually walk away understanding what is really happening and why it matters. One final dimension worth addressing directly, the question of how this latest development fits into the broader picture of how legal systems handle high-profile individuals who maintain significant public platforms while facing serious criminal proceedings. Andrew and Tristan Tate are not the first public figures to face serious criminal allegations across multiple international jurisdictions simultaneously. Legal proceedings in one country can create complications for proceedings in another. Extradition requests can become the subject of extended legal battles. Defendants' public statements during the pendency of proceedings can themselves attract legal attention. In the Tate brothers' case, Andrew in particular has maintained an active and vocal public presence throughout the period during which these proceedings have been developing. He has given extensive interviews, made public statements about his legal situation, and continued to cultivate his online following at significant scale. How that public presence interacts with the formal legal proceedings is a question that only the formal court process can answer. What the current situation makes clear is that proceedings are advancing on multiple fronts simultaneously. Romania continues. The UK is formally advancing. The United States is now directly involved through the extradition process. The next several months of court decisions will almost certainly represent the most consequential period yet in this long-running international legal story. Every confirmed development will be covered here as it emerges through official channels.